in between takes, and we just sort of hit it off. Hey! What's up? That's William. That's Bork.
What up, buddy?
Yeah! Here, man. Good to see you, brother.
He's on the show.
Awesome. So, oh, that's so cool. Now I'm starstruck. So anyway, we wanted to bring him back, and I had an idea for an episode, and me and my friend Adam Tate, who is actually the dialogue coach on Henry Danger, and he also like plays all of the characters. Like if Jace is sick one day, Adam will step in and play him until Jace gets better, and it's time to shoot, and then they bring Jace back, and they pump him full of medicine and shoot what they have to. But Adam and I spent a lot of time together, and we actually plotted out the time travel episode, and then I took it to Dan, and I pitched it to him, and then and he was like, okay. And then like a month later, Dan was like,
You pitched him back.
Dan was like, I got a great idea. We're gonna do a time travel episode.
Wait, they don't know who Dan is the creator.
Oh, Dan Schneider, the creator of Henry Danger. It's like, we're gonna do an episode where Drax is frozen in the man cave, and you accidentally unfreeze him, and he goes back in time and tries to kill you when you're a kid. And I'm like, you mean the episode I pitched to you like 3 weeks ago?
He's like, nah.
He's like, nah, it's a different idea. But anyway, regardless of who came up with it, we're glad it happened, because when Tommy came back the second time, we had an even better time, I would say.
Yes.
And had just a blast working with him. So hopefully we'll find a way to bring him back again.
All right, very cool. So now, as you guys are all starting to grow up, you're all gonna maybe, possibly, hopefully get jobs. Now,
Don't, if you can avoid that. I mean, if you just stay with your parents forever, do it.
Listen to Cooper, he gives good advice.
Awesome.
So as the show opens for us all the time,
I know, isn't it great? It's great.
we know that young Henry was out looking for a job, and it kind of stumbled into something else. Jace, can you tell us, obviously, how kind of you got involved with the show initially, and did art imitate life? Did you just fall into the cave and become his sidekick?
I just walked on set one day, and I was like, saw him, and he's like, you want a job?
Did it happen just like that?
And that's it.
I was like, you,
no.
blonde kid, you're perfect.
Yeah, your blonde hair. Perfect for Hollywood.
Perfect for my new show, Blonde Haired Superhero Child. I'd love to change the title, but that's the working title.
Come hang out in the basement with me. That's literally what the show is. All right, anyways. So, I've always wanted to be an actor since I was like 6 years old. I would do plays, at my house and perform it for my family. And, and so keeping that vision in my mind, I kind of have always just been, everything I could do to be an actor, I would do. Like, I would do YouTube videos, I would make movies with my brother, some would not be on the internet. Like, we would write scripts, and we would literally think that, like, somehow it was gonna be Star Wars. Like, we would write it thinking, like, okay, this is gonna be a movie. Like, we didn't know that there was, like, a process that you had to go through to, like, make a movie.
Yeah, we did the same thing too. We had premieres for our movies.
Yeah.
Once they're done, it was just our parents.
Yeah.
In like my friend's basement when we were like 12.
Yeah.
It was just our parents and I think like one other kid from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But we had like
He's like your number one fan. And
we had like programs that we gave out. Like it was a real deal. We had like concessions.
Wow.
I think my friend's sister was like working the concession stand. She was like 8. But yeah, I don't have any change. I don't know what to do. Yeah. But it all starts there, right? Like that's where it starts.
yeah, I mean, and then I did a growling showcase basically, which is like a sketch comedy showcase, and Dan saw me there, and he said, "Hey, come here," not like that.
Come here, you.
No, he's like, "You want to be on?" And then I auditioned like 5 times for the show. It was a really long process actually.
Yeah.
They had us audition at least like 5 times doing the same lines for this. It was just weird.
Yeah, I auditioned 4 times before I even met you, actually.
Yeah.
So it was a lot went through that process.
Okay, so hard work, and more hard work, and big dreams get you on television.
More big dreams actually than hard work, honestly. I mean, like once you got the dream, it's like the work is not the work. You're not working because it's like, it's hard to explain, but it's like once you have a dream, it's like that dream is everything. So it's not like work, like, oh, I have to work hard and like study it's not like homework. It's like you want to do it.
But that being said, you do have to put in the time
Right,
and the effort. It doesn't feel like work is, I think what you're saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
you love it.
Yeah.
But it still does take a lot of determination You gotta like keep striving for it, regardless of what happens and whatever people say. You just have to keep working towards it.
And a lot of people might think that you know, because it's like a younger audience geared show for the most part anyway, it's actually one of the most physical shows I've ever been on in my life. These guys have to do this day in and day out. I'm a guest, I get to come in and out, but like when I would go on, it was like more fighting and more action than I could have possibly expected. So that was another thing. It's effort. Like these guys have to be in shape, they gotta have training, and they do it every episode. It's like, whoa!
It is a lot of, it's fun though, you know, but it does.
You almost died.
Yeah, I almost died.
Oh, okay, that's just a minor, yeah.
I'm fine.
No, it's all
water.
You want to tell them about that? That you had like, for all season 3, you were like in a lot of pain, right? Season 3 or season 4?
Yeah, I had a pretty bad injury season 3, but I'm all right now. But there's no time. But when you get injured doing a stunt, there's no time to like take time off to heal. They're just like, all right, how you feeling? See you Monday, because you got a big fight. See you Monday. So walk it off. Yeah. I'm like, oh, my arm's broke. We'll tape it back on.
Minor details.
My leg has literally been severed from my body.
That's just conjecture.
We'll fix it in post.
Post means editing later, you know.
Yeah.
We'll CGI over it. Don't worry about the dangling tendon.
I actually had a CGI leg for all of season 4. That's something only the real fans know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a complete fabrication.
All right, so something that only real fans are going to know. As a special treat for you guys, here and here only, you are going to hear the never before told backstory of the original partnership between Captain Man and his enemy Drex.
Oh.
Do you guys want to hear that? Would that be cool?
Well, first, actually, we should probably ask him, Coop, how many people here are, Batman fans? Pretty much the large majority of the audience. Good to know.
Awesome. So you guys know the history of Batman and all of his Robins? Yeah, for the most part.
A lot of nods.
Well, when Tommy got the job, I didn't know Tommy from a hole in the ground, and knew right away he was a cool dude. So I sort of pulled him aside and said, "Hey, we should have a little powwow about what our history is, because you know when you get the script, there's only so much information there. They don't tell you, they don't give you like a Bible of backstory. You just have to sort of fill that in on your own."
Yeah.
So we decided that we had kind of a relationship that was similar to Batman and Jason Todd, who was the second Robin, and I thought basically, you know, this would have happened like very early in Captain Man's career, kind of when he first started out. He brought on this kid from the wrong side of the streets who was Drex, who kind of in a similar way, he sort of like saw potential in him, but also knew it was going to be some work because he was kind of a demented kid,
Like a chip on his shoulder.
yeah, something to prove. And I think Ray realized very quickly into that this kid was just wired all wrong and
Dangerous.
very dangerous. And I decided that the point where I realized that it wasn't working out was when Drex decided he wanted to kill our enemies, and like wanted to kill people. And he was like, "Hey, that's not gonna work for me."
That's what you said?
Yeah. And then we just had like a big like brawl, and I just envisioned this badass brawl where we there was fire and the stuff that you never see on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Just like building falling around us, and we just like sort of had it out. And then when the smoke cleared, Drex was carted off to jail, where he remained for the next 10 years or so. I don't know.
I grew up and then Hour of Power happened.
Yeah, and then he got out, and so he was angry, understandably, but you know, that's what you get.
You got a new blonde
I
sidekick?
got
It's
a
more
sidekick.
popular than me? What the heck?
I have a type that I like when it comes to sidekicks, you know. So I went for, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, fix the parts, fix the murderous psychopath part.
Yeah.
But the blonde, blue-eyed thing will work. But although you don't have blue eyes, so I made a
4
mistake.
years, you have nose.
Oh. You don't have blue eyes. How about that? I don't know if this is gonna work.
It's over?
Yeah, I think maybe it's time for sidekick number 3.
Do you know what the show's
So
called?
I'm taking auditions for a new sidekick after the show.
You hear that?
Come see me.
There he is.
Right there.
Okay,
you got a Kid Danger out
She.
there? She's dressed here, he's dressed there.
Wow, look at that.
Okay.
Actually,
I need a kid who's okay being used as a human shield. All right.
Hands are up, dude.
Great. Yes. The new psychic. Oh, yeah. See, he's got that suit and everything. He's good to go. Okay. Cool. We have to talk to the Marvel people about the licensing, but other than that, I think we can work this out.
Wait a minute. That's still Marvel.
Oh, there's the Hulk back
now-
there.
now we're
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. I love all the costumes here.
Yeah.
That's my
Oh,
favorite
he's putting the
part.
mask on, dude. No, oh, he's doing it.
There it is.
Oh, you wouldn't like it when he's angry. Oh, they line up. Whoa. That's cool.
Well done.
Very, very
So,
cool.
so Jace, I got one for you, which I think some of your fans might be interested in. So, there was obviously something went on between you and Bianca on the show.
Oh.
But there is, I don't know, is there anything you need to share? I mean, I've seen hashtags, trending things.
Oh, if you've seen hashtags, then that means.
Well, I don't know what to make of them. I mean, does the name Charlotte mean anything to you at this point? Are we going to find anything out in the upcoming season?
Is this a Chenery discussion?
That's what it is, right?
No.
Wow.
Is there anything we can share? A wink and nod, anything? Nothing. We got nothing.
Does anybody think there's something hashtaggy about that?
The
She
thing
thinks something might be
The
going
thing
on.
about the thing about that is that we know she's like it would be like kissing my sister, and it would be the weird. It would probably ruin.
Friend zone.
It would probably just it would be like that, but not as good looking. It would be like worse than that. It would be like weird, and like probably ruin our relationship forever. So I don't think that's gonna happen.
So you're saying there's a chance?
No, I don't have any control over that. So if they want to write that in, then they write that in.
We actually have very little control over
Over those.
Like I said, like when I have an idea that I feel very strongly about, I'll come and pitch it to them, and then they might convince themselves that they came up with it later. But we very rarely get a heads up on what the plot. We have no idea what's coming in season 5.
But they do see what they do. They do read social media and they see they see all that stuff. So we're praying.
All right, we shall see.
And I think that you will get, one way or another, you will get more.
Makeouts. Me? You guys heard of
That was not what I was going to say. But,
Ray and Henry?
You will get more into the backstory, not the backstory, more into Charlotte outside of the man cave. I think they're going to try to like expand on her character a little bit more. Because right now I don't know why Charlotte hangs out with us. I really don't know why she's down there. She seems to be very
Every
unhappy.
episode it's like, you guys are the worst.
She's like, you guys are stupid, and we're like, you're
How did I get
stupid.
here?
Why are you here? And I don't know why she puts up with it, because she gets paid the same as you, I guess, $9 an hour. That's not enough. That's not enough to justify how angry she is all the time. So I think there's more to Charlotte that will be explored in the next season. That's all I know.
All right, cool. So now, Tommy, this question, I don't want you to take it the wrong way, but I want to ask the guys, how are you like your characters on TV that you portray?
What the heck are you talking about? Be clear with your questions.
I guess you would like your character on TV, but what traits do you kind of, in your personal lives, do you ever see in your own characters?
Tommy is actually a character. He really is. I've never met the real.
Nobody really knows the real Tommy Walker.
That's not true, actually. Peter Shinkoda from Daredevil knows the real Tommy Walker very well. Love that guy. When I auditioned for it, I kind of, I didn't watch the show at the time, but I did see who else was auditioning, and I knew what the show was. So I knew that it was an opportunity to do something that I never did yet. I was doing a lot of comedy, but in a different capacity altogether. It wasn't a live action, multicam, that was a very big opportunity in my mind, and I saw a bunch of other guys. I was in mid-30s, and I saw younger guys, in their 20s, I would guess, who just didn't get it. I could tell that they didn't get it, and I was like, I got it. I got this. And I left, and I thought, I think I got it. Darn if I didn't get it. So, I knew that the way it was written, it was very blatant, and I didn't have the backstory. It was super huge to hear Cooper's ideas and get to know him because it fleshed it out before we started shooting, which was really, really helpful.
That helped me too.
I like comedy, I like big. I'm a singer, I have a big voice, like you know what I mean? It was one of those things that it was an opportunity that fit. I don't think I'm an angry or stressful person. I'd like to think I'm a nice person, but
No, you're totally the opposite of Drex.
I hope
He's
so.
a totally laid back, super chill, super nice guy, and always super good energy, which is why we like having him around, because we're just always laughing when he's there.
Thank you.
And it can be stressful. I mean, we love the job, but it can be stressful at times. It can be hard. So, like when we have somebody that brings a new type of fun energy, it's just
Yeah, some of our best material comes out of like hour 12, like you super loopy, delusional mindset where like we don't even know where we are anymore.
because we've done like 9,000 takes.
It's the same line.
I had the flu during the
No one cares,
the
dude.
two-parter.
No one cares.
Yeah, you did.
Dude, I was super sick, and we had to do all these fights together. And when you're feeling terrible and you're having to do all this physical stuff, to still have a great time and be laughing your butt off all day is, I think, indicative of the person that you're spending your time with.
I appreciate
So-
it. That's very nice of you to say. But and he never.
Well, I'm
he
a
never wavered.
I'm a very nice person.
He is a very nice person. He's actually, these are two of the funniest people I've ever worked with in my life, and I mean that wholeheartedly. So to have that much fun, it was the thing that kept my energy up. So my energy came from just being fortunate enough to be able to figure the character out and get the job. Other than that, I hope I'm not like Drex.
Well, we're glad you got it.
Thanks.
Now, I have a favorite episode. I'm sure you guys do, and I'm sure all the fans do. Mine happens to be Toddler Invasion.
Oh yeah.
I kind of got a kick out of that. Do you guys have a favorite episode you want to share? Favorite memory? Favorite adventure?
I really liked the one that aired last night. Actually, was it last night? The Saturday Night Lies. Yeah, that was one of my favorite episodes. I watched it last night, and my wife and I watched it together, and she impersonated Schwaz the whole time, which was fun. I'd never seen her do that before. Anytime Michael would say something, she'd be like, I can't think of a single line that Schwaz would say, like, I invented this new thing, and then my wife would be like, I invented this new thing. But I just like that episode. I like the episodes where we are allowed to, I don't know, delve into the psychology of the characters a little bit more, and there's definitely a lot going on with Ray in that episode, because he's obviously a very insecure guy and has a lot of hang-ups, and he's very petty at times, and I liked that one a lot. I thought it was fun.
My favorite episodes are like when like my favorite part about the show in general is that, you know, these superheroes, they have all this responsibility, but they are like the worst people to have that responsibility. And it's like we are so like more concerned of like the way that we look and the way that we act, and like I'm more hung up on like if there's a girl who's super attractive, I'm more into that in the fight than I am the actual fight. And same with Cooper. Same age. It's like the weird, like, so anything that like involves us trying to do something that is super serious always turns out well, because it's fun to just kind of riff off of when we start getting going.
Yeah, when Jason and I can just sort of play and riff, that's always fun. And a lot of that lately is making its way into the show. We've been doing that since season 1, but I think they're starting to realize that there's some fun stuff that they can actually put into the show. Can we get some medicine for my mic? It's having performance issues. But one out of every 5 microphones has this problem. Nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, there we go.
All right, let's move forward. Actually, now that we're talking about episodes and kind of what goes on, why don't we see the two of them in action? We're going to roll a couple of clips, and we can then talk about what we see. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay, that made it.
Yeah, your heart kind of goes out to the editor in those moments, because we sort of take liberties in those moments because we know they can't really hear everything we're saying. So we'll just shout stuff out.
Yeah, if you listen closely.
Might not be safe for the network, but sometimes it makes it through and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that's
nothing like profane, but every once in a while something that might be, I don't know.
just odd, weird stuff, and it's like, oh good, that made it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like your costume. You're sort of like a Cobra Kai thing going on.
You don't know what that means to me? Yeah, I loved it. The second they presented it, I was like, done, yes, love it.
Yeah,
No changes.
Brit, moving on.
Sam Zabka.
Yeah, the great.
Did you roll the next one, please?
The hits for me these days, which I appreciate.
Heck yeah.
That was a really fun day. As miserable as I was feeling, we had a lot of good laughs. In fact, we were getting into trouble between takes. Our director David Kendall was getting a little annoyed with us because we were just goofing around between takes. I want to do it. I think we should do the thing that we were doing. I'm gonna do it. And half of you are gonna be like, "This is stupid. Why are they sharing this?" But it's gonna make us happy. We all want to do it, so we're gonna do it anyway.
I can't believe we're gonna do it. I mean,
This was like 1 in the morning or midnight, and we were very slap happy. And for some reason, we got into talking about the actor that plays the Emperor in Star Wars, Ian McDiarmid.
Wait. We gotta get the wait. So wait.
everyone's waiting.
All right. So have you seen
So here's
the third Star Wars, the third one in the
Revenge of the Sith.
You just seen it?
No, anybody?
No one's seen this.
Anyone seen
Okay,
it?
like a handful.
Raise your hand.
People.
Okay.
A lot of Star Wars.
People have
Okay.
seen it. Okay.
Have you guys seen the scene where like Anakin's gonna like?
You got the 2 lightsabers against Count Dooku's neck.
And then the Emperor's just like, do it. You guys see that? And it's like in the middle of, he just like breaks character and like turns into the Emperor for like
Now
a line.
the Jedi know at this point that there is an evil Sith Lord out there who talks like that.
This
who
joke
looks
is so
like
dumb,
that.
it doesn't need this.
But they still haven't connected that he's the Emperor, the Senator.
Same guy.
And we always thought that was bizarre that they weren't like, "Oh, you sounded just like the Emperor just then. You're not the Emperor though?" Like,
No, I'm someone else.
like,
You've got me pushed up with someone else.
And then we thought it'd be funny if that actor, we realized that like that actor Ian McDiarmid really hasn't done, probably does like British theater or something, but we haven't really seen him in any other movies.
Right.
And we thought, this is like I said, I'm sick, we're super tired,
Like we're really punchy.
very punchy at this point. We thought, wouldn't it be funny if he had like an acting career outside of those movies and like
What commercials?
yeah, and then we had this idea that he was like in like a Nike commercial with LeBron James, and we were just acting out this
It was
scenario.
like he couldn't not do the Emperor.
And and they're like, the director's like, we love your role in Star Wars. You're so good, and we're very excited to work with you.
Like, all right,
so your line, so basically, LeBron is going to come in, he's going to dribble the ball, he's going to pass you the ball,
Okay.
and you catch the ball, and your line is just do it, Nike.
Just do it.
Okay, I got it. So the director yells, okay.
And places, and we have Ian.
So what's my line?
Well, Ian, you're gonna say "just do it" because that's
Just.
the tagline. That's the funny part.
Okay, I got it.
You're not gonna say it like the Emperor. That's
Oh, okay, I got it.
All right, here we go. Places. LeBron, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Okay, and action.
Do it.
All right, cut.
I don't know
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, what's
Why
the
is he
line?
doing the Emperor?
So, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah, just
No, we love the character of the Emperor. We just
I'm
don't
sorry,
do it.
that's my only thing I've done
Got
before
it.
this.
So can you just not
So
do that?
I'm so used to doing just
Cool,
the
but, like,
Emperor.
don't do that.
Say it not like
Just
this.
do it normal.
That's
Oh,
the
it's just
irony.
do it. I'm sorry, I
Just
got
do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys, I've been doing this character for like 30 years, and I'm so sorry, I was just in my head.
Ready?
I'm
And
ready
okay,
now.
fine.
Dribbles
Ready?
in. Action. LeBron.
Nike.
All right, you know, cut. Okay, listen. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's not even the line.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Just do it.
Got it, okay.
So this will go on for like at least 3 hours.
So we were doing this for like hours. Like different versions of it. Action.
Yeah,
Like,
unlimited power.
That's not at all mine.
okay, I'm reverting to like cut.
Why do we
We
get
got to
into
the
that?
point where, like, in the scenario in our heads, like, the crew had left.
Everyone quit.
LeBron James, like, refused
He's
to
like,
come out
hey,
of his
man, I got
trailer.
other spots to do.
He's like, man, I got a game tonight. I can't be here. This guy got to get his act together. And that was what we did, and that just for some reason was funny for hours.
Oh, we were in hysterics. Like, thank you,
Hours.
anybody who's thinking this is remotely entertaining.
We were like, this is only funny for
As
us.
entertaining as you thought that was, just like from that little laugh you guys had, there's times that by like 40, and that's the amount of pleasure that we get from
We were
hearing
listening,
this.
and like, production was, they were pissed, they were mad.
They were mad at us.
They're like,
They're like,
Cooper,
guys.
Jace, Tommy, like, come on.
And we're like, they would come up to me and be like, Jace, do you get paid to do this? I'd be like,
Yes. You want strike me down. And all of your dark side will be complete. It is unavoidable.
that's where it started. It is unavoidable.
I'd go really close to Jace's face out of nowhere, and I'd be like,
It is unavoidable.
It's the lips that gets me. Wait, do it
Yeah, he
again.
does the lips really well.
It is unavoidable.
That's the whole, yeah.
So yeah.
That's the kind of fun we had behind
Yeah.
us.
Do it.
Are you the N-word?
No. Action. Do it.
So that was that. That was what kept us going.
Thanks for humoring
Does
us,
that answer
everybody.
your question?
Yeah.
Not trying to follow that up.
I told you we were gonna leave it negative.
Yeah, it does sound like you guys have a really good time on set, though. Making us all a little bit more jealous. But since we're kind of in the spirit of comics and everything, before we open it up to questions, because I'm sure you have a lot of fans out there who want to ask their stuff. I see Captain America.
Let's hear from these fans.
Just jump right in. I'll wander around, so please just raise your hands and we'll give you the mic. Just say your name, introduce yourself, and ask your question.
Hands are going up quickly. That's awesome.
All right, first question is down here. Stand up for a sec, bud. What's your name?
Jaden.
Jaden has a question. Is it for all of them or just one of them?
Both of us.
Two on the end.
Two stars to the show. Yeah.
My name is Jace.
So when
So they
you were with Phone Shark, were his teeth actually metal, or was that just edited in?
That was, they were actually metal. They put like metal teeth over his normal teeth.
So his normal teeth were also metal, which is weird.
It's weird that they do that.
They just cast a guy with super weird teeth.
Dude, you're confusing them.
No, they were pretend teeth, pretend metal teeth, but scary when they were in, for sure. We put the phone shark in prison. I think he's in Swellview jail.
Hermione Granger has a question now.
Hi, Hermione.
Aria.
Hi, Aria.
Hey,
You brought me candy earlier.
that's weird.
It's a role
What's
reversal
your
for you.
favorite thing to do when you're not performing Henry David?
Doing impressions of Star Wars characters.
Well answered, Jace. Well answered.
That's honestly true, right?
That's
like,
it. We
make
work,
fun
and
of
we
it.
imitate the Emperor, and then we go to work, and we imitate the Emperor. That's it.
Yeah, well, we don't have a whole lot of time, Aria, when we're not working. We actually, Jace has an app on his phone where you can map out your day. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Where it shows you, like, it's for people that have busy schedules.
I deleted that though because it was
too depressing. And we realized that Jace and I, we looked at our schedule and we realized we both had a half hour to ourselves every day. And that was usually reserved for going to the toilet, or showering, or eating. And like you had to pick one, like, or spending time with your family.
You gotta
like-
sacrifice family for showers.
yeah. Like I come home from work. It's like can't have time to talk to my wife or daughter. I gotta go to the bathroom and then I gotta go to bed immediately. So
But it's better than most jobs.
it beats digging ditches.
Yeah, that's what we would say.
Okay, next one.
I'm Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina.
I know you from Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
He called you out.
You can't hide.
Have they started writing the script for season 5 yet?
That's actually is that 140 characters or less just now?
That's hilarious, dude. Nice. Yes, they have. We actually just get the scripts the day that we start shooting, basically. So we only see it basically.
We see it basically, yeah,
Morning
we start like a couple hours before we start rehearsing it. So sometimes they'll give us a heads up, like sometimes on a Friday they'll say, hey, next week Captain Man's going back in time. And so over the weekend I can sort of think about, ooh, I wonder what that's going to be like. But we don't get the actual script until that day. Sometimes we'll get it the night before, and that's pretty nice. But I'm guessing your question is like, what's season 5 going to be about? We don't know. We're just as excited to find out as you are.
I heard that Ray's getting cut though.
Oh yeah, they're killing off Ray in the first episode. He's out. Good luck, he's indestructible, so they're up to the challenge.
All right, next one's over here.
My name is Gianna.
Hi, Gianna. Do you have a question for the guys?
Favorite color?
What is your favorite color? We're gonna start with Jace, and then we'll go to Cooper, and then we'll go to Tommy.
My favorite color.
Adorable.
Do it. Do it. Answer the question. You want to answer the question.
Green.
My favorite color is blue. What's your favorite color? Pink? Pink? That's a good
She
color.
said pink.
Thanks, another favorite of mine.
Mine's like electric blue.
Wow, way to be more of a weirdo.
There it is. I was waiting for Jace to
I
come.
like electric blue.
I like blue. I like electric blue.
Yeah, you know what that is, Gianna. You know exactly what I mean.
Electric blue is a good color.
Electric.
Hi.
I'm Elodie.
Hi.
Hey,
Yeah.
Are those clear phones actually real? Do they work?
You know
No.
No, they're actually. You know what they are?
green screen.
They're just like clear pieces of plastic, and we just said it's almost like holding this cup up to our ear, and then they put in all the effects when they edit it. I know that's not the exciting answer.
I was excited. I was riveted.
No, most of the clear tech that you see on the show.
Most of the screens you see on the show are actually just green screens on the set. So most things in general are green screen.
There's times when we're looking at the monitors, and Henry will be Jace will be looking at one monitor, and I'll be looking at the other one, and the director will be like, "Guys, you're not looking at the same screen." And we're like, "Well, there's nothing there."
It's like
what do you want
green
from us?
with like weird designs on it.
Where's Drew? There he is.
All right, we have Lena. Go ahead, Lena. I'm sorry, Raina.
Raina, I mentioned
Lena
yesterday.
left.
Raina.
One job.
She's my buddy.
How old were you guys when you started acting in Henry Danger?
I was 67, and my grandkid said, "You're not too old to get into this game." On Henry Danger, or just in general?
He's gone with the mic.
First Henry Danger,
Don't
yes.
follow the
I was 33 when I got Henry Danger.
When I booked Henry Danger, I was 13. Now I'm 18.
Yeah, mid-30s. That's all I'm saying.
That's smart.
I'm ancient. From too well.
My name's Logan, and I wanted to ask if any of the show was improvised. If not, then what was your favorite blooper?
Yeah, a lot of the shows improvise. Well, they actually in the script they'll just say like ad-lib. Like they'll have a script and then there'll be little moments where it's just like they just have us riff or have us go. But you know, it's like when you're rehearsing, we rehearse for 3 days before we actually shoot, and when we're doing that, we're finding the funny and everything, and we're just messing around. We're basically doing what we do up here, but on stage, and it's like we're just finding things that are appropriate, that are funny. And you know,
some things that are not appropriate.
Appropriate, yeah.
and some things that are not funny. Like sometimes we think we are funnier than we actually are, which is just part of
Like the Emperor commercial.
like that. Like that didn't make it in the show, unfortunately.
We try to push the envelope every week.
we
We
try to
they
plan the
will allow us to say and do, and then we usually.
But yeah, so there's a lot of just us having fun and being in the character and having fun in those characters. You know, because the characters are ridiculous.
All right, next over here.
Anea.
Hey, nice costume.
Hey, that's a great costume.
What are you guys' favorite supervillain to fight?
Favorite supervillain fight?
On Henry Danger or like in? Okay.
I really liked.
No kidding.
I liked the fight that we had. The fight that we had in the second one with Drax, where we go back in time, was originally a lot more gritty than the one that you saw on TV. Like Captain Man was like spitting up blood and stuff, and I really wanted to have this moment. And I'll share with that. I pushed for it, and they let me do it. I always wanted to have this moment in a movie where I get up from fighting a guy and I go, and spit blood out on the floor, and I'm like, come at me, I'm still gonna go.
Cool.
Yeah, and Captain Man can't bleed because he's indestructible, so this is the one moment where like he doesn't have his powers and he can be hurt, and I was like, oh please, this is never gonna happen again. Can I please just spit blood onto the floor? And they were like, they went like,
Let's just
yeah, okay, and you know, and I
We can
felt,
cut it.
I guess they just did it to humor me. But that fight was fun because I got to actually get really physically hurt. Not me personally, but the character. And Captain Man doesn't really get challenges like that very often. And Drax is our only formidable foe, I would say. You can't really, you can't fight Dr. Maniac hand to hand, really, and have that fight last too long. But Drax is actually like physically, you know, Captain Man's match.
What was great for me is that I got to go at Jace really hard in Hour of Power, which was an epic fight on the playground. And then finally, like, you know, a year goes by and it's like, oh no, now it's Drex and Captain Man. So that, for me, that was great, because I got to fight both of them.